curb corruption. We must reduce corruption. That is why we are coming up with measures like e-procurement, treasury single account, to make sure that we reduce the exposure that public officers have in taking advantage of our systems and misdirecting our taxes. And then we have to also raise revenues in a different way. Having pursued fiscal consolidation in the recent years, as I said, the policy has now reached optimal levels and hence cannot be pushed further. In this case, an economic stimulus mechanism must be pursued. You will agree that unlike taxation, and I hope you listen there, unlike taxation, privatization never reduces private sector wealth. Privatization, in most cases, encourages propensity to invest and enhances aggregate demand, which in the long run would widen the revenue base. Taxation reduces private sector wealth. When you are taxed, money is being taken away from you. It reduces your wealth, whether you are very rich, moderately rich, or barely surviving, like many of us. But still, we are coming for your money in your pocket, despite the struggles. So taxation is something that, even though we can't avoid it, but it reduces our wealth. But privatization does not. It does the opposite. Privatization gives you an opportunity to invest your resources that you have in an asset that would be profitable and that would give you more resources. As I conclude, I want to say that our economy is in a critical turning point, and to sustain the economic achievements realized thus far, both from a macro and fiscal perspective, the low inflation that we are talking about, the interest rates that are coming down. By the way, 1 year ago, the average bank lending rate was at 17.2%. Today it is 14.9%. It is coming down. And I want to, that I think is a message I'm sending to our friend from the Chambers of Commerce. It is coming down, although we would want the interest rates to come down at a faster rate than it is today. And that is why we are telling banks they must take advantage of the rates, that the lowering of the base lending rate, to bring down the rates of loans that we give to the private sector. But for us to maintain that momentum of these positives at the macro and fiscal level, we must turn to innovative financing mechanisms to fund our infrastructure and public service projects. So as the financial needs of the government continue to outpace available public resources, private sector participation has become a critical tool in addressing infrastructure gaps, enhancing service delivery, and promoting sustainable development. There are many success stories on privatization, ladies and gentlemen, as I conclude, before you allow me to make a few off-the-cuff remarks. It is not just Safaricom. By the way, let me remind you, Safaricom was barely a department in the government. It's a small thing, making some meager profit. And people were happy with it that time, that this is a profitable company. The government took a decisive decision in 2008 to privatize Safaricom. In fact, even earlier, to invite partners. Then after that, after inviting the partners, in 2008, the government offered to the general public part of Safaricom. That is why today we own 25% of Safaricom as individuals, as Kenyans. 25%. Look at the transformation that has taken place in Safaricom. The kind of profitability of this venture. What makes you think that we have reached the optimum? There is still room for Safaricom to even be more profitable. And let me tell you, the technology space and telecommunication, more particularly telecommunication.